Go to your mat.
Okay, we're going to be working on go to your mat or go to your bed. This is Happy. We're not going to be working with her. She clearly already knows how to go to your mat. But I just wanted to show how you can really make this something interactive and very fun to do. It makes it so much easier for them to learn tricks and things like stay and even basic obedience, just sitting down when they know how to go to their bed, because it makes them more comfortable. So this is just to show you how this can be really interactive and really fun. Or you can just use go to your mat for when the family is eating dinner, or when people come over, or if your dog has a certain behavioral issue that requires confidence. Go to your bed is great for building confidence, and I'm actually going to show that with the dog we'll be working with. Okay, to get started, high-value treats are important to use. Think boiled chicken or turkey dogs. Now, the pieces you're giving them should be just a taste, literally half the size of my pinky nail. So once you get the hang of it, and if you're not trying to create drive, then you can just use kibble if you like. But otherwise, stick to those high-value treats to keep them motivated. This is Charlie. He's a rescue dog. He's having some issues with things going over his head, and I wanted to build a strong relationship with him. So he's very food driven, so we started working on go to your bed. This is a great exercise to do to build confidence. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a treat right in front of his face, and he's just following the food. He doesn't even know what he's doing yet. So all he's doing is following food. As soon as all 4 feet are on the bed, I mark that behavior with a verbal yes and treat. So you can see I am pointing, and I have a treat in the hand I'm pointing with. He gets it right away. And I just say, okay, for him to come off, and I lead him off because he doesn't know what that means yet either. So there's an okay, and I just point and say, go to your bed, yes. Release the treat, and he's distracted. That'll happen a lot. Now, I do use the leash to guide him back on. Don't do that with puppies. Just stick to guiding them with food for puppies, and just in the beginning, just in the first few days of working on this. Adult dogs, they're more used to leashes. They can be led by a leash. Yes, good boy. And then I just say, okay, and lead him off with the leash. Now, notice I'm just leaning my body back and forth, and I'm taking one step towards where I want him to go. There, I take another step because he wasn't getting it. Dogs follow body language. They don't learn the words first. They just don't. They're following your body. So the leaning and the pointing and taking a step is such a big deal. So I take another step to get that back foot completely on. Yes, and treat. And he's sitting for me now. What a good boy. He does already know how to sit. And I say, okay. Go to your bed. Yes. Sit. Yes. Treat. He's sitting really consistently now, and I think it makes him feel good. You see the confidence with it, so I start having him do that more and more. Sit. Yes. And then treat. What a good boy. Now, please understand, he's still just following my finger. He's still not completely understanding the verbal phrase yet, but he is learning that good things happen on this bed. I like this bed. You can see how happy he is about being on it. And then he thinks it's fun. Sometimes he leaps off. It's so cute. Go to your bed. Yes. Sit. Yes. And then I give a treat. Now, notice I'm not treating him right away because he's doing so well. I'm actually making him wait a beat before he gets a treat, but I'm going to mix it up. Sometimes I'll treat him right away. Sometimes I'll have him wait a second. In the beginning, as they're learning, until they get really motivated, just treat, treat, treat right away. And then when they start to get really driven like him, he learned this so fast, you can make them wait a little longer. Make them wait to focus. Okay. See, again, he nibbles on my finger. He's just following the magic finger. See how much I'm moving? That's what he's really following, is my body movement. Here I bend over more because he got distracted, so to engage him more, I bent over. If you're working with a little dog like you saw in the first one, you're going to have to bend over and point, practically touching the mat or the bed that you're using in the beginning. Then you can start to stand up. Yes, good boy. So we're gonna do down because I wanted to show something here. He pops right back up. So he knows down, but he doesn't know that he can stay down. So just to encourage them to stay on the bed, I squat down and I become a treat machine. I just continually treat tiny treats for staying in the same spot. Then the next stage is just to stand up and lean over. Then try standing completely up and treat. So that was very quickly 4 stages that I want to show you again. Once the dog is consistently moving on and off the bed with ease and is happy about it, you can move on to these broken down stages here. It's about teaching the dog that staying on the bed gets him the most reward. If the dog doesn't know sit or down, you do the same thing with the dog standing. Squat if it's a small dog. Now imagine if your dog would stay on his bed or travel mat happily when people come over, when you're eating, when you go to a cafe, or have a picnic with your family. That is what we are teaching here. Squat down to your dog's level, whether he's sitting, standing, or laying down, and treat rapid fire treating, maybe 10 times in a row, whatever it takes. Now standing, but bit over rapid fire treating. Yes, then give treat. Yes, give treat. Yes, give treat. Or if you have a rambunctious dog, it should sound more like yes, give treat. Yes, give treat. A little more low key. Now stand up and give treat and repeat. So stand up, yes, give treat. Start waiting for eye contact and gradually start taking steps back. Then in and give treat, and on and on. This is the start of stay, as well as making your dog think the world of his travel mat and his bed. Okay, so just a short recap. Here I'm adding my steps back in. Go to your mat, yes. Sit, yes. Treat. Okay. Now I lean. Go to your mat. I try to lean again, but he's losing focus. Sit. I wait for eye contact because he's really staring at the treats now. Yes, and treat. Down, yes. 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 See how I'm mixing it up? Okay, so to break down the steps, number 1, bait dog with treat right in front of his nose and walk over to the bed pointing. Guide your dog right by the nose if necessary with that food. Once you get 4 paws on the bed or the mat, give a verbal yes and release the treat. Then you walk away from the bed while giving a release word like off, okay, break, and still use your finger to guide. If you're struggling with this, because some dogs will just stay on the bed, I'll just toss a treat off the bed if the dog isn't comfortable being led by a leash yet. This is common with puppies. You don't even have to use a leash unless you're in an environment where there's a lot of distractions, or you just have a dog that's easily distracted like a puppy or a high energy dog. Now eventually you want to filter out the steps, actually stepping over to the bed, and just lean, then point with your finger. But don't always have the treat in there. You point with the finger, say go to your bed, and when they do it, you have to go to your bait bag to get the food. That's filtering out a step because you're not leading them on so much. Then start incorporating some obedience and increasing the time spent on the bed, mixed with the fun on and off aspect of the bed like you saw with the little dog in the beginning. Here's a really quick clip of a dog who was kind of struggling with this. She was very food motivated, but she was just easily distracted, so I really had to bait her. She had a really good sit, but she didn't understand the concept of going over to the bed. This is probably our 3rd short 5 to 10 minute session together. and you'll see this was happening every few times where I had to put the treat right in front of her nose and guide her. But after just a couple days of doing this, she was running and jumping to the bed without any guidance at all. So you just sometimes have to stay diligent. Charlie is nervous of the leash going over his head or his collar being grabbed, so I did this to show how to build confidence with a dog to make it easier for them, especially if it is a new dog or a puppy and you need to build up that relationship with them. For instance, if your dog didn't like to be brushed or didn't like to show his belly, Go to Your Mat is a great way to help them gain confidence in what they are doing to make the transition easier. Charlie really freaks out in the kennel if you put anything over his head, just jumping and dodging you like crazy. He was more calm outside of his kennel, so we started working there first on it. So I'm showing you bad behavior first. Oh, he doesn't like it. And this is after working with him a little bit. We had worked just a few times on some treats. So I just wanted to show you bad behavior first. You'll see it again here in a second. He's such a good boy. See, there's not a mean bone in his body. It's just purely him being uncomfortable. See, he jumps. Oh, he doesn't like it. Now I grab his collar. You'll really see him throw a little fit. See, he just is uncomfortable with it. You can tell. Just a little bit of a lack of trust, a little bit of insecurity. Oh, there he throws that fit again. Oh, he doesn't like it. So now I get to the good stuff. That was just to show you how he was reacting. And watch how simple it is to do the Go to Your Mat. And I grab his collar, but he knows I have a treat, so he doesn't mind as much. And watch, treat over the head, no big deal. Makes him a little anxious, but it's not much. Look, I grab the collar again. Sit, use the treat. Use that obedience to help build that confidence in me and in the food. It's so much easier. Now I did this about 10 times over and over. Then I started intersplicing it with doing it several times without food. I just mimicked I had food. Like right there, I just mimicked it. So I still got a paw once he figured it out. But look, he doesn't go anywhere. You see that? Look, he's staying with me. That is the Go to Your Mat training right there. That is definitely the Go to Your Mat training. Look at that, no food at all. Now I just wanted to show you a short clip of him in the kennel and us doing it. He just got some water, so that's why he's dripping. I get him focused on a treat. See, he backs away. Oh, very nice, but it was really minor. It's really minor. That was really good. We do it again. See, he's a little more anxious. You can tell he's a little edgier. Just because he's surrounded, by other dogs barking. But as you can see, that was very smooth. I wish I could have shown you how he was in the kennel when we first tried to do it, just before doing anything. But I honestly didn't want to recreate that bad habit again. It was too much of him bouncing around. So this hopefully shows you many different things you can do with Go to Your Bed or Go to Your Mat. I suggest that if you do use a mat, a travel mat, just go get a kitchen mat or a dog mat. It's just such a fun command for them to learn, and then you also can teach them to relax on it as well. Really universal command. It's my favorite by far because it's such a good foundation for so many things. If you have any questions, just contact me at info@doggersizela.com. You can check out our website, doggersizedogtraining.com. I hope you enjoyed this very long video, and just please let me know if you have any questions.